Guys, the Gen Z job market is absolutely crazy, and I really feel bad for these guys. I mean, I feel bad for my kids growing up in this world because the problem is that they were given a promise. Take out debt, go to college, get a great job, buy a house, raise a family. But there's a problem here. The social contract has changed, and AI is, in my opinion, the biggest reason for that. Every day on this channel, we are covering major shifts in the job market, and AI is almost always at the forefront. A few days ago, we covered Meta laying off 20% of their staff. I'll post a link to that there. You know, these people probably went from having the best year of their lives getting hired at Meta, one of the largest tech companies in the world, to having the worst one getting laid off. It doesn't just stop there. We covered a few weeks ago, I'll post a link to the video here, Amazon. Amazon decided to lay off 30,000 white-collared corporate employees. These guys are probably thinking, this is amazing, I work at Amazon. I'm on the forefront. And then they get laid off. The social contract has pretty much been broken. In fact, we'll take it even a step further. The Fed chair, Jerome Powell, said during an April jobs report that we have net zero new job creation. New jobs aren't being created right now. Well, at least in the traditional markets. And hold that thought, we'll get there in just a moment. Because the reality, guys, is that AI is completely reshaping the way we work. And quite frankly, it's kind of scary trying to predict where the work is going to be. You know, I feel bad for young people going into college, going into the job market, because predicting what problems are going to need to be solved is very, very difficult. A few years ago, truckers were told they need to learn to code. They're told, stop whining. Stop whining about autonomous vehicles, guys. Just learn to code. Almost said with some disdain, the whole L to code type thing. Well, it's actually kind of flipped around now. It's the opposite. The software programmers are the guys and girls that are being laid off. Very hard to predict. I mean, Sam Altman has talked about this. His expectations for who is going to be laid off has completely changed. And, you know, if you were to ask me about a year and a half ago, my concern with AI was the older workers were going to get laid off. The older workers that didn't fully understand tech. You know, listen, we all know these guys and girls who just don't fully understand tech. I thought they were going to all be laid off as young people entered the job force who had more technical skills. I mean, a few years ago, my biggest concern was older people getting laid off. You know, they weren't going to understand AI. They were in a very important stage of their life. You know, they're in their 50s and they're like, well, you know, I need a job. I need to make money. I've been at the same company for 30 years. I don't have time to readjust. Well, you know, it turns out that those are the jobs that are actually feel a little bit safer because these guys have experience and they have relationships, which turns out in this new AI world, having experience and having relationships is pretty important. The AI has gotten pretty easy to use, although it's certainly moving quickly. But if you're able to leverage AI to work out faster, the advantage that these guys have is they have the wisdom and experience and expertise in a topic, so they can kind of know, okay, this is a hallucination. I don't want to go off what the AI has told me in this case. Anyway, this is something that Gen Z typically doesn't have. So what we've actually found is that the bottom rung of the career ladder has completely collapsed. It's completely collapsed. You know, it's just really hard to get your foot in the door these days. Don't believe me? Just go on the internet and Google it. But we can even look at some data if you'd like. College, I mean, I think college does have value. I have a college degree, but what I do think has happened is it's completely been oversold. There is so much pressure on young people to go to college, to go to university, to take out tens of thousands of dollars of debt, and it's just not paying off. I mean, we look at it just as an example, the current college unemployment rate, current college graduate unemployment rate is 5.7%. Okay? It's not great. That's not great. I'll tell you, that's not great. I mean, it's been increasing. And to take that a step further, 50% of college graduates are underemployed, meaning you're in a career that you actually didn't study in college. I mean, I'm one of those guys. I have a 4-year college degree in business management and marketing, but the business that I'm in now, I don't need a college degree. I just got out there and learned. Okay? And again, I'm not going to say that college has zero value or university has zero value. I still have a college fund that I've set aside for my 2 kids, but I do wonder, is that even necessary? Does it even matter? I mean, the chief economist at Glassdoor which is a workplace review company, says, quote, entry-level workers are finding it difficult right now to get their foot on the ladder at all because the ladder has been removed. So what are the options? What kind of options do you have if you're Gen Z, if you're trying to make it? What options do you have? As far as I can see it, there's a lot of different options, but there's a couple that I think are most interesting. The first is to leverage AI, determination, and grit to start your own business, start your own side hustle. Quite frankly, I think this might be one of the best times in human history to start a new business. There are so many people with so many problems trying to figure out AI. If you're young, if you're hungry, if you can find a good niche, if you can find a good problem to solve, and you can use AI, you're gonna be in a good spot. That's my prediction. You're gonna be in a very good spot. I think there's other ways you can go too. I mean, and I think that before you consider getting some generic college degree in liberal arts studies or social sciences or lesbian dance theory or something like that, well, you might want to pause and kind of just take a step back and rethink that, because the reality is you want to be in a career that's in not only in demand now, but will be in demand in the future. And so I do want to give a shout out to today's sponsor of to the sponsor of today's video, which is CourseCareers. And I've met with them. I like them. They've been in business for over 6 years. And today they've given me the top 4 courses that they're offering now. You can start these for free. And one of the reasons I like CourseCareers is that they have a tremendous focus on hiring. Their goal is to get you hired in 4 to 12 weeks. So you're not, which is crazy to me that you can get a course, you can go through their marketplace, find jobs within 12 weeks. College isn't doing that, and college is costing 100x what you can get over at CourseCareers. Anyway, let's look at some of the careers that they really look at. These are some of the most popular courses with job outlook and compensation. So one of the first courses here is Construction Manager, which has a median pay of $107,000 a year. There's a 9% growth outlook by 2030, which is much faster than average. And again, by the way, we've been talking about this a lot. We're going through an infrastructure and construction boom because we are building homes like crazy, at least where I live. Data centers are seeing hundreds of billions of dollars, which create not just data center construction, but all the infrastructure and construction around them, from homes, hotels, to roads, to electrical, to HVAC, to plumbing. There's a lot of construction that's happening. These construction managers typically planning, coordinating, budgeting, supervising construction projects from start to finish, and they spend a lot of time on site. So if you like to be on your feet, if you like being outdoors and touching grass, a construction management position might be a good fit. They also have some trainings. They have nice courses on technical scientific sales reps. And these reps are going to make about $100,000 a year, which is actually much higher than non-technical and scientific product sales. So the type of thing that you're selling matters a lot. I mean, if you're in sales or ever thought about sales, if you're selling Cutco knives, you're not going to make a lot of money. If you're selling $100,000 X-ray machines, you're probably going to make a lot more. Anyway, my only concern with this particular career outlook is that this job outlook is about 1%, which is by 2030, which is slower than average. Again, if you're good at sales, if you're in the right company, I think you can be successful. And we've talked about this in videos. One of the North Stars with companies right now is using AI to do all their sales. I'm not really sure that that's going to work out for B2B sales. I think you're still going to want human to human. But anyway, that's what they're looking at there. Now, if we look at that type of technical and scientific sales reps, going to be more travel, selling goods for wholesalers, manufacturers, to businesses, government agencies, and miscellaneous organizations. And again, interesting, sales is in a really interesting place. I would recommend you check out this video where we talk about how AI is impacting the sales world. Check out this video now if you want more information on that. Purchasing managers, also another great position to look at. These guys are going to make about $140,000 a year. They have a job growth outlook of about 5%, which is faster than average. And you're probably not going to start as a purchasing manager. You're going to start as a buyer or purchasing agent. There you have a median pay of $75K a year, which isn't too shabby. And this is primarily office work, and there might be some light travel required, which makes it great if you have people and family at home where you want to be kind of like close to the home base. I've never been too big into like really heavy travel positions because I like to be at home with my wife, with my kids, and so on and so forth. Now, CourseCareers also has a brand new property management course. And again, just a quick shout out to CourseCareers here, again, today's video sponsor. They're always updating their courses. Okay, it's not like, these are not courses that are gonna take years to be updated. You don't have to buy a new textbook every semester. I mean, I hated that so much when I was at university. It's like $500 for a textbook you're gonna read for 6 months, and then you gotta sell it back for 50 bucks and you gotta buy another one. That drove me so freaking crazy. Anyway, with CourseCareers, it's constantly updating. It's all digital. You can do it from home. It's not expensive, and you can even start with a free trial. And they have everything from data analytics. They even have AI courses, a lot of stuff that is like really, really hyper focused on getting hired. It's not about like learning. It's about how do we get you hired? How do we get you what you need to get hired as soon as possible? Anyway, they've got this new property management course available. There's over 39,000 jobs available right now for property management. 39,000 jobs available. And this is actually perfect for realtors. It can offer additional streams of income for realtors. It's more stable. And you can still do real estate work on the side. So they find that, realtors, that property management is a really good fit for realtors. You also are connecting and networking. There's a lot of positives there. You're gonna have a combo of office work and on-site work, showing properties, meeting contractors, and you're gonna have about a $67,000 median income with about a 4% growth, which is slightly above the average growth rate in different fields. And again, if you're selling properties on the side, 67K is not bad if you factor in the additional sources of income. And guys, listen, if you like today's video, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're covering what's happening in the job market and frankly, how you can remain relevant, respected, and financially free during the AI revolution. And again, with CourseCareers, listen guys, I get a lot of sponsorship opportunities. You should see my inbox. I say no to a lot of them. Frankly, I said no to some the other day. I won't go into all the reasons why, but I told them, no, I don't think this is a good fit. I just don't feel right about it. But I do like CourseCareers. Met with them. They seem like great guys. They're focused on outcomes, not learning, outcomes. That is what they are focused on. They aim to get you hired in 4 to 12 weeks. You get a 14-day free trial. They have a ton of different courses that you can check out and learn and test. You like one, or if you start one and you don't like it, okay, I'll cancel out. Let's try another one. You can kind of flip around. You can find the right career for you. Yeah, anyway, they've been around for 6 years. Get started today. Click the link below, check the different paths out, and find something that's a fit for you. The reality is, guys, that if you want to get your foot on a career ladder, it could be that old career ladders that you've been promised are not open. So checking out what the other options are and really focusing on how do I get a good job, not how do I get a college degree. I think there needs to be a mentality shift in things. And I'm not saying, again, that going to university is a bad thing. I went to university, perfectly happy with it. But at the end of the day, does it directly contribute to the amount of money that I make? I don't know. Maybe it made me who I am. Anyway, I digress. Go check out CourseCareers, click around, start some training at home, see if there's a great job opportunity out there, and I wish you all the best. All right, boys, see you later. Peace.